I really wanted to talk with you and have you on to talk about something I think other teachers and schools will find really interesting, which is the Wellbeing Awards, because I know that this Wellbeing Awards has kind of consumed you the last little while, and it's been quite the thing in your focus point. And I actually just want to know more about it. I'd love to know what it is, and maybe we can talk through some things around what the other schools or teachers can do to get it as well. And congratulations, because
yes,
you've won the Wellbeing Award this
and
year,
it's
right?
a big thing.
It's a big deal.
Yes, it is a big
for Al
deal.
Salam community
Private
or
school.
for Al Salam private school, you've won it this
We
year.
have.
So
yes, last year we got the Sendia Award, which is from the same organisation in the UK. It's the Optimus Education National Award, but it's an international award, and it's an accreditation basically, which gives a school the right to say that they've won the Wellbeing Award. They've won the Sendia Award, which we got last year. I won't talk about that now, but that led us to think about the Wellbeing Award for this year, because it was such a feeling of achievement last year. We felt validated in what we were doing in inclusion last year, and it made us feel that we really need to look at well-being, because we feel that we've got well-being as a very integral part of the school, and yet we've not really looked at it in the nitty-gritty areas. And so when we looked at the Optimus Wellbeing Award scheme, it isn't even just the teachers' well-being. It's looking at the children's well-being. It's looking at parents' well-being. It's looking at the whole curriculum and what we do in school, the environment, everything about school that enables us to say, this is well-being, we've achieved it, or at least we're achieving it, because I don't think that's ever something that you can say, we've achieved it, and we sit back and it's going to be that way forever, because it actually is a very dynamic, living thing. It's made up of people who are caring for each other. It also went hand in hand with the KHDA, as it did last year with the Sendia Award, because the KHDA has very clear criteria for us to fulfill. And we had our KHDA inspection at the beginning of the term. This term really has been a very high-pressured term, although we've been working up to it for more than a year, gathering documentation, making sure that everything is in place, making changes, changes like including children in our education and in our training of them, in our helping them to understand what well-being is. One of the highlights, I think, has been getting FS children to talk about what well-being is. And I just loved one of the small children. They were having a little chat together, two of them, and one of the parents did an interview with them and said, "What do you think well-being is?" And the little girl said, "Well-being is caring for each other."
Aww.
And what makes you feel good? Having lots of friends and having toys to play with.
Aww.
And they were very loving to each other physically too. And it sort of makes you realise that it's the human being touch.
Yeah.
Because
connection.
especially these days,
yeah,
you know, it's something that has become very real after COVID and the distancing there was, just being able to come back and to be able to be close to each other again, to chat. It's been very precious. So it covers 8 areas actually.
Oh, wow.
And we have to pass in each of those areas. It covers from governance through to curriculum, through to all the things that we do with parents. It's parents' well-being too. We've made a parents' committee now. We've got parents involved at a governance level and in a practical level in helping each other. And one of the things that the inspector said in the Wellbeing Award inspection was that she was highly impressed with how our parents obviously value each other. They have skills and experience and education themselves, different things that they bring to each other, and they're helping each other. And that's been part of the development over the last year too. So lots of things like that. The KHDA brought out that we needed a proper wellbeing curriculum. And that's something that we were working on as well to help us with the Wellbeing Award. And we've been using a sort of conglomerated curriculum called CARES, C-A-R-E-S, which has really become very integral to the way that teaching is done. So it's brought into each of the lessons. So there's lots of things that are starting to take place which have never happened before, but due to the Wellbeing Award, and will continue.
So it sounds like through the journey of getting the award, you kind of are prompted to re-examine lots of different areas of the school in a structured way to address anything, in relation to well-being. I got it, right.
Yes.
And what are that's one benefit, but what are some of the other benefits? So say a school's interested in doing that, what is another benefit?
Well, I think for any school that looks at doing this, there's the accreditation side. I think so often in Dubai particularly, but in the Middle East, it's good to have an accreditation like that, because when parents come to bring their children into school or to register their children in a school, they know that well-being is at the heart of the school.
You've taken a lot of care about it.
Yes, and it's considered to be a school that makes sure that children are looked after, and families and parents and teachers are all cared for as well. So that's probably one of the biggest things. There's a status thing.
Yeah. Any award kind of comes with that idea around it. Yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things, but also intrinsically the changes that we've put in place is the value, because they're things that are not going to go away. They'll continue to develop and make the school a better place.
That's great.
And we have a motto for all Al Salam schools that every child is special, but we're starting to say that every person is special because we want every person to be heard, even if they can't be responded to completely and answered. At least they're heard. They've got a voice.
Yeah. So on a more practical level, who should lead on that in a school setting? And like, it took a lot from you. I saw it. It was high pressure towards the end there. So who do you think, to a teacher listening in who's thinking, oh, that sounds really good, but what's involved? Like, who should do it?
It's actually specified by the Wellbeing Awards organisation. You have to have a core team of well-being who has to consist of the governor, which is me, the principal, the counsellor, somebody that takes the responsibility for counselling in the school, and then representatives from students and teachers and parents. It's a requirement. So everybody has to take that part in self-evaluation, first of all, and then in helping to make the changes.
So everyone's involved.
Yes,
really.
it's meant to be a very holistic approach.
You lead on it as a governor.
The governor and the counsellor, or the person who's the lead in school for well-being, which is usually a counsellor. In our other school, we're starting off with the HR person leading, and it may be that in other schools, perhaps HR is the lead person. But
I really wanted to talk with you